to enroll in ESME courses. Make sure you're signed into your ESME account. Go to our live learning series page. Click on your chosen course. In the courses landing page, you'll see two options: claim 1,000 pesos off or installment plan. Click on your desired option and then check out. Happy learning!
Hi, everybody. Good evening. Welcome again to um, what's this show about again? Sorry. Impact Freedom with Coach Susie and together with ESME Philippines and Thoughtful Media Philippines. Welcome to our second session for um, YouTube 101, and we'll be talking about distribution. So I do hope you've learned a lot from the previous meet. We'll go straight ahead since medyo mahaba yung deck ko for today. But feel free to put on down or write in your comments and suggestions or whatnot. And if you do have started your YouTube channel already, please feel free to type in your YouTube channel so we could do some audit. Oh, I'm seeing a friend here. Hello, Sir Patrick Cruz. Hello. Patrick is one of our ano ba? Ano ba tawag sa'yo, Patrick? Content providers for our creators. So if you're interested to become an influencer or celebrity, you could head on and message Patrick Cruz for more information. All right. So let me start with our discussion for this evening. So as I said, we'll be talking about distribution, YouTube content on different platforms. So since last week we discussed about branding, right? So I do hope it sparked your inspiration or your interest to start on creating your channel, right? So because when you start creating your channel, the next question will be, where should I put my channel? Should I really put it on YouTube, or should it I be placing it on different channels that is available in the market? Because as you know right now, there are tons of possible channels that you could watch or you could place your videos, right? And these are the things that we'll be discussing today. Yeah, so stay tuned for more. So before I head on to my full presentation, i-evangelize ko ulit kayo about our company. So please watch this.
Today, the internet is radically changing how we Filipinos see the world. Now, we're consuming online content. We're creating it, but more importantly, we're sharing it. Founded in 2010, Thoughtful Media is a global multi-channel network that is certified by YouTube and Google and is now in the Philippines. We help content creators optimize their channel for subscriber growth and channel discoverability. We put creators in touch with the right production people, from shoot to edit. With a diverse network of content creators, we can connect you to the right influential friend from different parts of the world. Our worldwide network consists of over 2,200 channels and a catalog of more than 1,000 influencers. We create bubbles, generating over 626 million views and over 1.2 billion minutes watched per month. Using our vast amount of content creators, we bring you only the best talent fit for your campaign. Our reach is local, but our impact is global. What are you waiting for? Be impactful. Be effective. Be thoughtful.
All right. So that's Thoughtful Philippines for you guys. So if you're interested into content creation and you do have a YouTube a channel already, go ahead and go to our website, Thoughtful Media Philippines. Yeah. And so let's start off um to what our discussion is for today. But again, let me introduce myself. So my name is Cher Tanchico. I'm from Thoughtful Philippines, also from Rising Tide, and a lot more. So I hope I already bought in my your trust on speaking for about YouTube. Yes. So in the next 7 weeks, we did already discuss about branding, right? So that was our first session. For today, we'll be talking about distribution, and in the next couple of weeks, we'll also be discussing about different YouTube topics like how to start your setup as a as a vlogger. Next will be your content planning. Then if you're already done that, we'll talk about growth, intellectual property, and of course livelihood. May pera ba sa content creation? There. So let me deep dive into why video marketing, right? So, bakit ba mas effective or bakit ko sinasuggest nyo na do video even if you're a content creator or if you're a brand yourself or possibly you're a coach like Miss Susie here, right? So, why content creation? Why video marketing? The very reason for video marketing is according to the recent statistics by Wizol, yeah, 63% of the businesses prefer to go on video marketing. Kasi nga, yung attention span ng tao, right, mabilis mawala. So, pag mabilis mawala, kailangan ma-target mo kaagad lahat ng messages mo dun sa tao, right? So, your consumer needs all of the information in the first 5 seconds. And when you got that already, it's easier to penetrate more information to the consumer. Whether if you're a brand, you're a creator, or whatnot, or a coach, or you're in an education platform like ESME, you should always, focus on video materials because that's how people consume education. But don't get me wrong, a lot of people have different types of learning. Some people like to read out, some people like having someone explain through mentorship, and someone people also like to do their own research. So lahat naman kasama yun. But for makikita nyo later bakit video marketing is still a good a good exemplar platform for you guys when you want to create content, or one if you want to grow your brand, or you as a creator, right? And according to my research, sabi niya, without planning a proper distribution strategy for your videos, you will be wasting all the hard work you have put into producing that video content. So let me give an example. We do have a creator before na ang dami niyang content, sobrang dami. As in, every week, super consistent siya, religious on creating content. However, the viewership is low, right? So, hindi nanonood yung tao. So, there could be a lot of reasons. One, parang ngayon, we don't intend to make this a public content, right? So, hindi yung distribution is not cascaded to a lot of people. But, um, it could also have some triggers kung mali yung thumbnail niya, like we have discussed on branding, right? So, yun lang. It's interesting, right? So, kailangan talaga, this is a livelihood. This is something that you should be serious about. So, I know there's a lot of content creators nowadays na sumisikat, ganyan, 'di ba? Pero, hindi naman sila parang feeling mo walang hard work. Pero guess what? Ang daming hard work, ang daming pains involved in just producing one content, right? So, yeah, so appreciate whatever you watch and appreciate the knowledge somehow. And yeah, and I do hope I'll be able to watch your YouTube videos then in the future. So, Ito naman more on marketing side. Siguro dahil love ko si marketing, right? So, videos add on conversion and sales. So, whenever you run your campaigns, always, it's awesome to put videos or anything animated, to be honest, like a GIF or such. It will really function more on your campaign. Although static materials do still have a good advantage sometimes, like especially if people are just scrolling, right? Pero videos, madaling i-capture. Like in the first 5 seconds, tak, kuha mo na kagad yung loob ng consumer mo. Videos boost your ROI. So even if you're a coach, because you're imparting knowledge to your students, right? So you'll be able to get then the ROI kasi parang a little glimpse, parang this entire thing, this is just a glimpse of what a YouTube is, right? What a YouTube life is. Pero it already be able to spark one person. Parang right now, I just need one person to spark para gumawa ka, ikaw, yes, you, gumawa ka ng YouTube account mo and eventually make it to something cool for um the future kids, right? Next is videos can employ the emotion and trust of the viewers. Of course, if you're authentic, you're providing that knowledge that you want to convey to your consumers, definitely papanoorin at papanoorin ka kahit hindi ka na mag-promote, they will binge watch you for sure. And if you got the people, the right people na who spark their interest with your content, makikita mo they'll become your patrons. Tapos malay mo, they'll be sending you stickers. The channel stickers, yun yung you could monetize from it, right? So, yeah, for sure. And then lastly, Google prefers videos. So, ang number one talaga to, if you're building your brand, is to, well, create your website. Apart from the Facebook world, right? Google is still important for us. And saying so, you should not just focus on building your website, your landing pages, your such. Sometimes it's also good to have the YouTube content because at the end of the day, YouTube is part of Google and YouTube is also a search engine, guys. So never forget that. Um, so ito naman, I'll be discussing the two types of video content that you can make. So if your question is, what type of videos can I do? Let's say you're a coach, since this is intended for the impact freedom people, right? So what type of videos can I do, right? So first, you could do educational videos such as this. You could do a webinar or a podcast or a vcast, or you could just record yourself talking about good points about what you do best. Kunwari, if you're doing nutritional coaching, you could do 101s, etc. Right? Still educational. Something na may makukuhang takeaway yung audience nyo. Right? This one, I hope you did read it. I don't like reading slides, but yeah, but definitely for us, I think the future kasi, diba, parang now people are not keen into graduating college anymore. Like they can get all of their information online, right? And I just feel the next generation, the generation alpha, they'll very much empowered at that time. And I'm quite sure they'll be getting their learning from school for sure, but they'll be also be getting their learning from us, the generation now, the Gen Zs, the Gen Y, the Gen X. So now is the information or education stage, to be honest. Kasi pag buhay na yung generation alpha. So I'm quite sure they'll be taking all of their knowledge coming from us. So this is the best time to contribute to the society, guys. Yes, and next is videos with flavors of humor. So even if you're doing coaching, if you're doing inspirational talk and such, sometimes it's still best to put a little humor, put a little flavor to what you're talking, right? Kapag even in podcast, 'di ba? Pag yung mga tao when they talk, they add the humor, minsan nagpapatawa sila or yeah, kung mapapansin niyo, especially in the Philippines, this is based on statistics, guys. Mas madami yung entertainment material or entertainment YouTubes or YouTube channels versus yung mga talagang educational channels. Why? Well, siguro mahilig tayo sa chismis. Mga marites, right? Or mahilig lang talaga tayo to watch something to to remove the stress in our brain, right? So, humor is important, and when you catch the attention kaagad, you will get it. Parang you'll see a lot of video materials coming from BuzzFeed or Recreate, right? It's capturing the humor, but it's still inspirational somehow. So, choose your choose the best video that you want to start with there. So ayan na. So we'll go ahead, and for the best video distribution channels you should be using for your video marketing. I am quite sure these are the things that you know of already, but I'm just doing like summary or collate it for you na all channels are good. It really depends on who your market is. Maybe from the branding, next step for you guys is to know who your target market is. Parang, is your target market for YouTube? Is your target for TikTok? Is it your target for Facebook? To be honest, these platforms, they might have or they might serve videos for sure, but I'm quite sure then that this also um caters to different kinds of market. Yes. So there are two types of um yeah, there are two types of distribution. So there's organic and there's paid. Feeling ko social media class to or marketing 101. Pero yeah, so there's organic and there's paid. So as you see, organic means you just put out anything, all of your content in without putting ads, right? Or such. So that's organic. When you say paid, ibig sabihin, of course, you pay the platform or you do it through different streams. Yes. Okay. So the first sample for us will be LinkedIn. So I know quite sa Philippines hindi pa masyado natin nape-penetrate sa LinkedIn. Pero guys, understand if you're a coach, I would always suggest you also be present with LinkedIn. Why? Because LinkedIn is a professional platform intended for HRs and such, right? So um there's a potential, and you could see like yung mga favorite ko sila Gary Vaynerchuk, Neil Patel, they kept on producing material dedicated for linking. And one of the reason is mataas yung engagement. So, well, you have to connect first definitely. Pero dahil mataas yung engagement, and these guys are also thinking the same wavelength as you do, especially if you're coaches, right? Or educators. So it's very important to be present on this platform. Ayan. I hope you read. Just please keep reading the side notes that I did. Okay. So one of the samples here is the Traveler. So this is an insurance company in New York, and you could see sila. These are just one of the few samples that utilizes LinkedIn as for their video, right? So si careers, they kept on putting a lot of video material as well coming from YouTube. Then they posted on their LinkedIn, and since HR related sila careers, right? So kaya parang yung engagement ng tao talaga, they really watch from it, and so which is important, right? So if you're a coach or yun nga, or such, think about LinkedIn. If pero wait lang, wag kalimutan yung very first rule ko. Any content, put it on YouTube first, then after um put it elsewhere, like whatever channel you have. The reason lang for you why YouTube first is because of your content creation, or the content copyrights, to make sure it's yours, right? Okay. So for LinkedIn, there's a specific tips and hacks. So one is make your video sound independent. Instead, include subtitles and captions. So it's automatic naman right now push um to push a subtitle below, right? Pero If you can afford like a virtual assistant or your I don't know, whoever who can help you or your marketing person to put a caption below whenever you do a special content. Yeah. Kasi sometimes on LinkedIn they're silent watchers. They don't really put on sound. So it's important that they can read it audibly, right? Audibly. Yeah. Next is restrict your video to 30 seconds for brand awareness missions, and use longer videos for educational content. So again, brand awareness short, kapag educational content longer. Yan. Tapos, add an emotional factor to your video to attract viewers and increase engagement. So, yung mga CTA like um, have you used the new cheer button on LinkedIn, ganyan, or and such, or you could do a poll, parang have you answered the poll, just engage the audience to communicate with you. Actually, regardless of platform, you should always have a CTA to push for engagement. And then lastly, for LinkedIn, add topic hashtags to increase the visibility of your post. Like Instagram, Twitter, LinkedIn is very important yung hashtag nila. So, there's a lot of tools right now that is available in the market where you can just drop or get the hashtags if you do need help. Definitely there's always a tool for you guys. Ayan. So of course ito, I'm quite sure you know all this already. So Facebook, so a lot of people, Philippines alone, we have so much users, and the penetration for Facebook is bazooka, right? So I would also suggest, if you do have your YouTube channel, right? If you're a content creator, I would also suggest that you push your content on Facebook. And I believe they also already have their monetization. So yeah, make sure na there's also a rule pala, sorry, na in when you publish first on YouTube, you could wait a day. Pero ako golden rule ko lagi 3. So, um, after 3 days, you publish it on Facebook, regardless if it's teaser or the long form. Yan. Pero again, YouTube first. Ayan. May questions pa tayo? Wala pa. Alright. Let me go ahead. Should you have questions, guys, feel free to message. Right? Okay. So, si Facebook, like, I'm so sure like your brands that you are handling at the moment, like Airbnb here, they leverage on Facebook on putting a lot of their video content. So it can be just like a random like parang ito kay Airbnb. Um travel porn or whatsoever. Just dedicated for their for their consumer, right? So it's great. It's great na minsan 'di ba parang pag meron kang brand love already kunwari Adidas, right? Or ano pa ba? Or Coca-Cola or Jollibee, sometimes you just watch it. Kahit hindi ka sa YouTube nanonood, kahit nasa Facebook siya, you'll watch it because there's a brand love. So, it's important, very important to put it on Facebook. So, tips and hacks. So, again, make your brand stand out from the rest by using colors, themes, images based on the theme of your business. So, if you're Coke, put a lot of red. If you're Adidas, put a little bit of sustainability. Naku, magagalit sa akin si Joey. Okay. And then, ensure that the format of the video matches the requirements on Facebook. So, aspect ratio. So, ito lang, rule of thumb with Facebook, naka-horizontal pa rin sila. But again, guys, there are, actually, um, now that I realize, there's reels, right? So you can convert all your materials as well into verticals. So babalitarin mo lang yan 9/16, right? So yan. And on Facebook, you have to understand na nako-compress yung material, right? So even if you upload it big time, 4K, 12K on Facebook, mako-compress yan. So, one of the reasons then na why you should stick pa rin on your original format on YouTube, just because Facebook compresses the materials. Then, yeah, have a catchy short caption to attract your target customer. And then ito, very important, which you cannot do from other social platforms, you can tag the people appearing in the video. Well, you can do that then from LinkedIn for sure. Pero on Facebook, mas capture mo yung personal accounts of the people and also their um pages, right? So there. So, kung may Facebook, dapat may Instagram din. And as you can see, Instagram also penetrated a lot of consumers in our market in here in the Philippines. So, if you're a brand naman or a content creator that is relatively on the lifestyle, on the culture, or retail, ganyan, Instagram is your best bet. Of course, you have to make sure that it's curated. Although, again, with the creation of reels right now, you can be dynamic pa rin naman, making it cohesive pa rin yung look of your aesthetics, right, on your Instagram. So, why is it important? Ako personally, I like watching stories. So, kung friend kita, definitely nadaanan na kita yung stories mo. Why? Because people like, again, people like video, right? And short form is the new form of content for us. So, you should leverage on that then. So, um, I think discuss natin sa content planning yung yun nga, so a little bit lang. So, 'di ba, if you're going to do a long form content, right? So, from the long form content, you should always make a teaser, um, cut downs, right? Why? Because you have to ano din, sayang yung effort mo dun sa material mo, right? So, if you'll produce, tapos hindi mo na-leverage yung the good parts of your content, sayang. So, there definitely good planning works. Ayan, we'll discuss that in content planning. This one sample from Amazon. So, si Amazon, actually a lot of brands uses Instagram for their video content. So, makita mo they'll be talking about their ano ba, Alexa, could you be your dog's UBFF, right? So, ayan. There's engagement. So, yeah. So, video engagement, very important, guys. Hindi na ako magdadwell masyado sa mga um, popular popular platforms, but I'll dwell on the hacks. So use minimal writing on the video, but the description should complete the picture. So you'll notice on even on Facebook, they have this rule of 20%, right? So if this at 20%, you actually don't want to um put a lot of text on your on your on your video because Facebook and Instagram or Meta doesn't want that. So careful, careful. Next is ensure that your video format fits a small screen. Preferred format is aspect ratio 1.91 by 1. So almost 2 by 1. Yeah. So almost a square but not a square, right? Maximum size 4 gig, maximum length about 60 seconds. Yeah. Um, I think that Instagram has the longer variation for the videos, no? Pero yun nga, with the rise of Reels, it take up to 3 minutes. Correct me na lang if I'm wrong, guys. Pero, yeah, still leverage the stories because a lot of people still watch it. But you still also leverage on Reels because you can post the material inside your aesthetics. Okay. Ay, may sound. So, Pinterest. So, I'm so sure you will question me here. Bakit Pinterest? Why should I put my content on Pinterest? You know what? According to statistics, 83% of Pinterest audience are women between the age of 25 and 54. So, they focus on DIY crafts, beauty, recipes, travel, and health related topics. All popular, right? So, what does it mean? If your market is the mommies, yes, the mamas, the hot mamas, then Pinterest still is the key. And to be honest, not just the mommies, but also artists, graphic artists. You know what? Like a lot of graphic artists still go to Pinterest when they want to find inspiration on their designs, ganyan. And if you are like a coach on art or culture, yeah, I think being present on Pinterest and showing out there, parang you just embed your material inside Pinterest, then that you're doing your good job on your marketing, right? So this is one sample, see OMG Deals. It's an online trade company. So it just showcase all of their SKUs in the platform, right? Parang lahat, literals, parang per SKU, all products, nakapasok yun sa Pinterest. Again, why not? May you have to remember all platforms also have their specific algorithm on search, right? So minsan papansin mo kahit sa Google you'll find them um showing something right there. Okay, Pinterest hacks. So make sure that you add the word video on pin descriptions and board titles. So if your pins or the material is intended talaga na video, make sure you add the video. Actually, rule of thumb din yan with the res um not pala the rest. Ah, sige, Pinterest na lang. Nisip ko possible din siya for for LinkedIn, just in case. Then, the description field should contain backlinks. Guys, what is a backlink? So, SEO 101. Backlinks, you should be able, these are the external links outside the channel. So if it's inside Pinterest, then therefore your channel, your or it could be your YouTube channel or your website is considered already a backlink. So yeah, make the use out of it inside Pinterest. The last, include your Pinterest CTA on your video landing pages for sure. Um, to be honest, if we talk naman about UI, you should always put all of your social platforms in your in your website. Again, we're almost halfway, guys. So next will be your Twitter for sure. Um, sir, just a fun fact. So in Manila, I know there's a lot of Twitter users, but surprising enough, there's more Twitter users in the Visayas area, in the Mindanao area. And when we went there for one influencer event before in Cebu before the pandemic this um it's so surprising everybody's using Twitter. Parang kami, ha, why they're using Twitter? All of their emotions, all of their rants, they put it to Twitter. So it's it's kind of amazing. So what I'm saying, I'm trying to convey lang is you don't know your target market wholeheartedly, guys. So what if your target market is on Twitter? Kunwari, you're more on doing gaming or and such. What if your target market is on Twitter, guys? So never, never lose a chance in any platform, to be honest. If as much as possible be present, why not, right? So yeah, and parang to si Starbucks, it says in my research na it frequents yung mga innovative video ideas on Twitter. Sometimes they just publish something, parang ito. It's powerful when a woman has another woman's back. Gotcha. Let's celebrate women in our lives. Be a part of Count on Me, girl. So the hashtag explorations, right? Challenge by tagging the women who have been a support inspiration in your life. So if you read this very impactful words, right, you will really tag your friends and alam mo yun, make that hashtag working. So to be honest, Twitter pa rin somehow when you want information, you can get it from Twitter. So tandaan nyo, as a content creator, search, paano ko hahanapin ng consumer ko or ng target market ko. Okay, so next will be our tips for Twitter. So first, entice viewers through alluring captions and tempting first glimpse of the video. So, pwede kang gumawa ng mga teasers, ganyan. Pwede kang magawa ng, um, ayun nga, glimpse of what the full video is. Then, since the attention span on Twitter is generally lower, reduce your video to bite-sized chunks. Bite-sized chunks. So, if you have a 2 minute video, definitely not on Twitter, guys. Siguro, ako rule of thumb, 5 to 10 seconds is the best length for any video, regardless if you intended it for reels, if you intend it um for stories or not. Unless you're going for a long form, then you could do a minute, or a minute is fine. Pero if you're already the podcast person who keeps on talking or wanting to provide a lot of information, then you could do more than 15 minutes on that. Siguro, if parang ganito, this is I will treat it as an educational webinar, 1 hour max. So I hope hindi ako um overtime. All right. Then of course we have YouTube. So siya yung pinaka, I will say, best of the best, kasi just because of its algorithm, its technology, right? And the relevance to your niche. Yeah, like a lot of reasons, guys. Like searchability, alam mo yun, on trend, and ano ba ba? And monetization, right? Because you could monetize on YouTube, and although you could monetize from other platforms, but YouTube is still the best source for monetization. If you're pushing for livelihood, then this is your best bet, si YouTube. So, ayan. To be honest, we'll discuss this on on content planning. But for YouTube, you really have, so you got your branding, you got your target audience, but you should also know what type of content should you be doing, right? So baka mamaya you're putting your audience into a bore, and you don't want that to happen, right? So make sure that you're hitting the spot for your target market. Parang like this video, since, but this is a, well, this session natin is a very private one, pero ang intention natin is to impart this with the coaches from Impact Freedom, right? And if there are some other viewers externally, why not, right? So I really hope na someone out there will be interested to create their channel. And hey, it's the right time. Yes. Nag-promote ng YouTube. Ayan. So, tips and hacks. So, one, add descriptions, transcript to your videos. And also, you can add interactive elements in your videos as a CTA. Remember when we discussed from the first session about branding, we talk about the cards, the thumbnails, the elements. All of this branding shazams, you need that for YouTube. Yeah. So next, let's say you know the drill and such. So why do I need a landing page? Sometimes it's still good na meron kang main CTA where your content is, especially if you're a brand or if you're selling a merch and such, dapat meron ka laging CTA on all of your YouTube videos, to be honest. Because afterwards, people tend to look for more information about the topic that you're discussing. It can be also, meron ako yung next about blogs, pero let me just read this for you. So for landing pages, make sure that the video is above the fold. So above the fold is ito. Yan. This one. And the running time should be short. So if you're putting it as a landing page, make sure do it like, actually 30 seconds is fine, kasi sometimes people are really intended to watch it. So what you could do, you could make your teaser inside your YouTube or wherever channel that you choose to, that tapos put a longer form on your landing pages. If you're trying to make a funnel, or if you're making yeah, a sales funnel for your consumers, then definitely that's the right route. Then have an attractive thumbnail should represent the video, definitely a must for any video, and include a call to action. I think it's a must for any type of video. Always a call to action. Ito din, so another sample in your website. It will be interesting if you really do produce a lot of materials, ganyan. Parang keep a video hub as your portfolio, as your video library of all of your videos that you created. So if you already have your playlist in mind on YouTube, you could actually organize it pa more inside your video hub or inside your website. Yeah, ito sample of how Fox Movies put their their video trailers. Yeah, it could also be trailers. Parang isipin mo, you could put like your Netflix UI on your website, right? Why not? So, especially if you're a coach, having this actually even in front of your homepage, this is definitely a must. Pero having a dedicated landing page or video hub for your website is well, I do suggest that you put on. And another sample from Intuitive and Advocate Marketing Solution. So um, they have their CTA on top, if you could see here, right? And then they put their videos. Parang explainer videos is good. So yes, let's do that. So tips and hacks, embed proper videos. So if you're going to use your YouTube materials going to your website, which is great, um there's a share button naman, and you could either copy the HTML or copy the embed code, or if you're using WordPress, you could just get the URL link right away from there, and then you can easily embed. Well, depende talaga yan din pala sa um, UI ng iyong website, but definitely you can embed it from YouTube. Make sure it's in public, right? There are also, well, if you don't like YouTube, you can also do Vimeo and or other sources of your video materials if you like embedding it in your material. Also a rule of thumb, especially if you're a coach, you could ano naman private or unlist your videos if you intended to put on your landing page. Especially if it's a dedicated coaching material, you could put that on not playlist, on private or unlisted. So kita pa rin para yung copyrights mo, it's all yours, guys. And yes, make short but catchy videos. So what you can do, the main videos that are more of like your teasers, ganyan, nasa taas. Tapos if you have the long form, you can put it down below. So parang technically you're creating your own UI inside your website. Parang UI YouTube. Okay. Another suggestion. I know this might be confusing. Share why is email there? You know what? A lot of people still use email, and I'm quite sure you guys do have your emails. And when you communicate with your people, email is still the mode of conversation, unless you're very informal and just using messenger chats or Skype or Slack, right? Pero email is still a good form. And also, if you're more into email marketing, if you were able to embed it as a newsletter, like especially if you have a new, especially if they're not yet subscribed, kasi sa YouTube, right, you can, when you subscribe, technically you can actually get an email from YouTube saying na, oh, Cher has a new video, you could watch it, right? Pero what if your your list is not subscribed yet? So technically you could push them like, hey, subscribe to my channel, or push for, well, depending on what funnel you are at, right? So definitely email is a good thing. And also yun nga mataas ang chances of open rate. So once you got the information from your valid information from your potential consumer, your viewer, right? Um, it's good to use email as your distribution. So one sample will be Funko. Ayun, akala ko nakalimutan ko. So si Funko, sa mga toy enthusiast dyan, so they usually use a lot of video format or yung mga SKUs nila, they put it on email or yung mga ibang newsletters like Sephora, depending on what type of brands or vlogs you're watching. So definitely a lot of people is still using emails, guys. There are some email platforms that you could use naman if you want it free. Meron kaming ginamit before si SendFox. which is great. You could also try to check that out. Okay, you can add the autoplay to your video so that pag nag-populate yung or once they open their email, they can already watch it, right? But be careful though, um kapag hindi masyadong mabilis yung internet ng pinadalhan mo or broken yung HTML, yun lang problematic. But yeah, definitely good. Or ito, suggestion, embed the looping GIF thumbnail for faster loading. Kasi nga, you don't know how much bandwidth your viewer is getting. Ito, like I said, kanina, if you already done your website, it's also good to do for blogs. Pero, ito, ang definition ko dito, to be honest, is you could, you could partner with other blogs, not just yourself. You could, collab with other content creators or other coaches. Show out there, be present on other podcasts. You know what? Backlinks is the future as well. So if you have a backlink from someone or not, m- mas yung searchability niya, ano, yung searchability niya mahahanap mo, right? So if you guys are interested to um ano 'to, to do vlogs, ganyan, or if you're interested to do webinars with ESME or with Impact Freedom, feel free to let us know. I'm just reading some comments. Do you recommend uploading the video from a Facebook person, directly or put the recommend uploading the video directly or put the link of the YouTube video? Ha, okay. Depende. Siguro dahil YouTube practitioner ako, so I would say always YouTube video. But if you have the bandwidth to upload it in your on your website, then yes, you can do that. Pero you have to understand, especially if you're a coach, you have so many video materials that you will impart knowledge with your students, right? So technically, baka hindi kayanin ng bandwidth mo unless you're doing AWS already, right? So I still go for using either YouTube or Vimeo. You could go for the Pro for Vimeo kung if you're really um, medyo mahal pero ako okay naman si YouTube, guys. Ayan. How short is short from Miss Summer? Oils or blessings? Short, okay. When we do promotions, teasers, yes. 5 to 10 seconds is good or 30 seconds is good. But if long form, ibig sabihin YouTube content talaga yung gusto mong gawin, merong rule si YouTube na you could start at 3 minutes first, then you could do 7 minutes after, 8 minutes after, then you could do longer, like an hour or two kung Joe Rogan ka, right? So, it really depends po, to be honest. Ang hirap ng question, pero kung kunwari if you want consistency, right? So, puwedeng parang si Nas Daily, right? He done his video material 1 minute in one parang everything in 1 minute. So, may consistency. So, his viewers know that they will be watching 1 minute talaga of his videos, right? Or, parang si Joe Rogan, for example, sometimes I watch one, parang 3 hours ata yung video niya. Pero it's interesting, but that's Joe Rogan already. So, you know what? It really depends on how how your audience will consume your video. Yeah. So, I hope I answered your question, Miss Summer, my love. Ayan. All right. Blogs. Okay, hacks. So make sure that you add appropriate keywords that best describe your videos. Remember, like the hashtags. Embed your YouTube videos in your blog post instead of adding video files directly. Parang ito pala yung answer kanina, Miss Miss Summer, and the one who asked kanina, Facebook user. Share your post with relevant high-rank businesses so that your video gets promoted. Definitely. So if you're into groups and Facebook groups or you could do Reddit, ganyan, there's a lot of platforms already available who can be your basin of of distribution for your video. And also guys, make sure parang ito sinasabi ko right now, 'di ba? You're doing we're just talking about one content at the moment. So you have this, let's say you have a 15-minute YouTube video, right? Then my suggestion as your strategies, make a 1 minute video on Reels, a 1 minute video on Shorts, right? Or a 30-second teaser on LinkedIn, another teaser on your blog for them to watch them. Ganun siya. Parang, it's, a, it's an entire strategy and parang, ano lang siya, kabit-kabit lang sila somehow there. All right. So we already discussed yung organic, which I'm quite sure you are already familiar very much. But the next will be the paid. So, why go paid? Sometimes you need a little push for your success, right? So, parang just recently, me and my new partner will be producing some short form content, and the channel is new, the page is new, but surprisingly, naglagay kami ng parang 500 pesos to start or to kick off for engagement for for the page. Pero it got a lot of tractions already. It enabled us to reach a certain number of people. So, yeah, so parang it helps eh. Parang sometimes you also have to understand, guys, your friends, your family is not your target market. So, if you have a new page, I do suggest do not invite your friends. Unless parang yung Facebook ko, I do have um my my public Facebook na mukha ng private. Lahat lang ng parang colleagues, clients, yun lang ina-add ko. So technically, pag nag-share ako, that's my way of advertising my stuff, right? If I am advertising anything from Thoughtful or from Rising Tide or whatnot, right? It's my way to get paid. Pero for sure, if you're most Filipinos don't have that ideology. So, m- medyo sure ako na it could be your friends inside your Facebook or your 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 friends, right? So, hindi sila yung target market mo. And you have to understand different yung target market natin for our niche. Parang there's no same person in your family, there's no same person in your friends. So, you're different. So, you should find your own uniqueness from elsewhere. Yes. May hugot. Anyway, so one way to do it is, well, paid ads. So paid ads, it has this is a whole shebang of discussion. So you could build your awareness, you could build your consideration, you could build your conversion, your loyalty, and then going back to your reach and impressions, right? So you could do a lot of ads. It could be on Facebook, it could be on Google. Now you could also do on TikTok, right? Or Twitter. So many platforms, so many possibilities to put your ads. But you also have to understand that since it's very powerful, we have limited sources then for our money, right? So you have to be careful on where you put your ads. So if you want, let's say, you're a coach, going back to becoming a coach. So I will invest on search engine marketing or SEM or your search, right? Because that's how you will be able to get your client. Or you could get it from um video views, pero hindi ko masyadong ano yung video views, especially if you're gearing towards monetization of your channel, right? So maybe you could push for traffic ads going to your channel. That's one way to go. Kung gusto niyo strategy, usap tayo. Ayan. Yeah, so sa paid ads also, if you're a blogger, right? So you can create your website, then you put your AdSense, you put your AdWords, so somehow you'll be able to capture your monetization, right? So si AdSense, will talk about that in the monetization. AdWords, this is your SEM. Yes. And then, ito, tips, create multiple videos and experiment with what works. So, let's say, um, with your campaign, you should be creating at least, or putting at least 2 or 3 materials for your campaign. Yeah. And then, keep the video short and to the point. Yeah. I'm trying. All right. So ito din, you should also understand there's also paid content promotion aside from the regular ads that you could create from the platforms. There are also other stimulus channels like Reddit, Outbrain, Stumble Upon, and yung mga Stumble Upon yung one of the old school. So you could partner with yung mga programmatic servers who does content, right? So it's good. It's good to if you have the money, go for it for sure. Ayan, si Red Bull mahilig siyang mag-use ng video at mag-ads. Ayan, because why not, right? Ay, ito pa. So add geolocation to your videos. So kapag maganda din kasi pag when you're trying to segment your market, unless you're going for the entire national, right? Kunwari, you're a coach for fitness coach in BGC. So target mo lang BGC, guys. You don't have when you're doing ads. Para din yung hindi ka paglalabas ka ng ng circle, hindi ka lalayo, mapapagod ka to drive, mahal ang gas. So, make sure na kasi within your territory, I'm quite sure you'll find your market inside. And focusing on your target audience by categorizing your video. So sometimes, 'di ba, um eh, again with fitness, you can have different types of market, like the people who just wants to tone, people who just wants to lose weight, people who want to gain weight. So these are 3 different markets already, but they have different needs for you guys. Yeah. All right. Thank you so much for taking time with me this evening. I hope you did learn about distribution. To be honest, this is the boring part of the YouTube 101, but we really need to tackle about the distribution. But please do not forget that make sure you do not waste your efforts basically posting your video on 1 or 2 platforms. Kasi tayo, which is sometimes post it on YouTube or Facebook. There's a lot of platforms, guys. And you should again, know your target audience, know where they are, and when you found out where they are, you'll be able to invest more time on producing more quality content to your viewers. And ano tawag dyan? Segue, connect with a great partner, so such as a multi-channel network like Thoughtful Media Philippines to help you guide your track. So, hello. So, if you haven't joined our network, please do. We do, we are open to any types of content creators. And guess what, guys? Just today, we have such a good news. I cannot tell it to the public yet, but we have such a good news. Yeah, we're buying to scale a little. So yeah, watch out for more thoughtful Philippines for you guys. But yeah, before I leave, all right. Thank you so much, everybody. I appreciate our um discussion this evening. I do hope you learn. If you have questions, you could feel free to message us naman either on ESME Philippines or with Coach Susie from Impact Freedom. And again, thank you. This is your mentor speaker for YouTube 101. Thank you. Sayonara. God bless. Bye.
courses. Make sure you're signed into your ESME account. Go to our live learning series page. Click on your chosen course. In the courses landing page, you'll see two options: claim 1,000 pesos off or installment plan. Click on your desired option and then check out. Happy learning!